again, Gooners. Yes, I'm back again, and this time I'm going to give you 5. Yeah, give me 5. That's what you said to me, isn't it? Well, maybe not, but that's how many you're going to get. 5 transfer stories. Yeah, not 4, not 3, not 2, but 5. Yes, 5 transfer stories. I'm going to start off by telling you about the sun, how it never shines on TV. That was a song by a-ha, or not quite. And in at number 2, we've got Remy, but not the guard type. I'll let you work it out later. Then we're going to be talking Balotelli, not for the first time, and a bit of Serge Aurier, which I like to say very much. And finally, it's a bit of Griezmann 2000. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Well, at number 1, as I said before, the sun never shines on TV, if your name's Thomas Vermaelen, that is. He's going nowhere. Arsene Wenger apparently said it, although I can't find any reference to it anywhere on the internet. But he is certainly crocked. So that suggests he will not be moving to Manchester United, as it has been alleged in some quarters. Mark Wilmots, the Belgian manager, apparently wanted a real defender, which is why he put Vermaelen in the team instead of Jan Vertonghen. Here. But, of course, poor Vermaelen got crocked after about 30 minutes and left Belgium's most recent game. He's got 1 year left on his contract, so I expect him to hit the exit door in the very near future, because you know what Arsenal are like. If they can cash in, they will. But now that he's injured, it does seem unlikely. Perhaps we'll have to wait till January and flog him for next to nothing. A player who's going to cost significantly more, however, is Loic Remy. £10 million is the asking price, apparently. And this was a very interesting story being run in the Daily Express, which was picked up by justarsenal.com. They are agreeing that Arsene Wenger has in fact called Marseille, Loic Remy's former club, to get a background check on the player. To me, that sounds a bit like running an Experian credit report on him. But instead of checking his credit, because most footballers' credit is pretty good unless they've got some bad habits, instead of that, of course, he's looking more at trying to find out whether or not he's got a deep psychological problem. And I would suggest that if he's going into those sort of details, he's probably got some idea that there are issues with Remy. And if that is the case, then why would he sign him? As I've said many times before on this vlog, Arsene Wenger doesn't tend to sign players that have any baggage of the emotional kind. So I don't think Remy will be joining us at all. And talking of emotional baggage, Mario Balotelli is still being heavily linked with a move to us. The Metro reporter, no less, a big name in the journalist game, he is saying that, it could be a she actually, £27 million is the asking price, and the deal is virtually done. £150,000 a week is what Balotelli will be earning. The 24-year-old could be moving on because Milan owner Silvio Berlusconi said nobody is irreplaceable. And by nobody, he of course meant Balotelli. And this Metro reporter is so prolific that he was at it again. And he has also indicated that Serge Aurier could be joining us for £8 million. In fact, this is a story that I believe. I don't care what anyone says. I happen to believe this one. I don't know why. I think it's because he's at Toulouse at the moment. The only thing that let this story down, £8 million sounds like a kind of deal Arsenal would be looking forward to completing, because it sounds cheap at the price for a player that's had a reasonable World Cup. £60,000 a week over 5 years, that sounds like the kind of deal we'd be very willing to ink, and no doubt Serge would be willing to put pen to paper as well. And aside from that, what else could be holding up the deal? If he does put pen to paper on a 5-year deal, he is out of contract in 2018, so he gets a bit of a bonus because he's got a long-term future for 1 extra year. Apparently, anyway, terms are agreed, and the only fly in the ointment here is this deal could be hijacked by Swansea, Queen's Park Rangers or Liverpool, according to the Daily Star. What do you think about that then? Well, I'll tell you what I think about him. I think he's got a great name, and Serge Aurier definitely sounds like a superior hair product to me, which brings me on to Griezmann 2000. Obviously, a different sort of hair product. Antoine Griezmann, he's been linked with us, not particularly heavily, not particularly lightly, something in between a medium spread of Griezmann 2000, I think. And anyway, he's let one slip, which isn't much good when it comes to squeaky backside time in the Premier League. When push comes to shove, of course, we want people who don't let slip. And Griezmann has let slip, according to some of the tabloids. He's currently with Real Sociedad, and he's not let slip about himself, to give him his due. He's, in fact, let slip about Carlos Vela. And he's been quoted as saying that Carlos Vela is quiet and comfortable. And from that, and from those two words, the tabloids have worked out that Vela will not be returning to Arsenal for £3.5 million, which was the buyback clause. Instead, we have now given up the right to sign him for £10 million. This sounds a little confusing, I know. We've not given up the right to sign him back for £10 million. We have taken £10 million to not sign him, which is a really nice piece of business in anyone's dictionary. So there you go. That was the final piece of news. That was my number 5. I meant to run through the top 5, but I didn't do it, so I'll do it now instead. Number 1, the sun never shines on TV. Aha. Number 2, Remy, not the guard type, but it's Loic, the goal-scoring phenomenon who could be joining us for £10 million. At number 3, it's Mario Balotelli, £27 million worth of talent, or could it be trouble? If it's trouble, then Arsene Wenger wants none of it, but he certainly wants number 4, Serge Aurier, by the sound of it. And not Griezmann 2000. He doesn't need Griezmann 2000 at all, Arsene Wenger. In fact, he doesn't need Carlos Vela either, and that's our number 5 story. So that's all with. Who's we? It's just me, right? Okay, that's all I've got time for right now. Join me next time for another top 5. Until then, it's away!